The biggest misconception that we hear from customers is basically that we're throwing parts at a truck to try to make something work. It's very unfortunate that they feel that way. I understand why sometimes that misconception can be made. Unfortunately, when it comes to diagnosing after-treatment systems on trucks, we are bound by the troubleshooting tree when we scan these ECMs and pull fault codes. When we pull these fault codes, we do have OEM software in order to be able to troubleshoot and get the correct codes. Now, with that being said, when we do make the determination that a said component does need to replace, we do follow a troubleshooting tree. And on this troubleshooting tree that we have in front of us, we are required to check for primary fault codes. We are required to check resistances, check voltages, and this is all based off OEM recommendations. So now when we come to the determination that, let's say, a sensor needs to be replaced on your after treatment system, it is not something that we do based on experience, based on, this is something we've seen before in the past, let's go ahead and just replace this sensor. We have done our due diligence. We have verified that we have correct readings or incorrect readings. We verified that we have correct voltages, incorrect voltages, that the resistance are within specifications before we make any replacements. Now, that being said, sometimes replacing a component is not just going to fix your issue. There could be underlying issues, particularly like on this unit, came in with level 1 derate. That was the complaint we had from the customer. Now, the customer had done some work himself and was unsuccessful in getting the unit out of derate, so then he brought it into us. So we did our job, we scanned the fault codes, and we pulled the fault codes, and we went through the troubleshooting tree. Now, when we came to the determination to replace the component, we validated our repair before we made the determination to replace that. That being said, this unit is still in a derate. So what we end up doing is replacing the component. We cleared the codes, and then last step we do is we validate the repair. So we run it through a regeneration. During that time, a separate set of fault codes came in. So this here is a completely separate set of fault codes. You can see on the first one, we were at 4519 was our fault code. The second time we came around 1879. So that being said, it's very frustrating as a customer and as a technician when you come to them and you explain to them, look, we're dealing with a totally separate set of fault codes this time. So now the determination on this fault code is that we have a faulty computer or an ECM. It's hard for a customer to be like, well, at first you said it was just a sensor, now you're telling me it needs a whole computer. We can only go off of what the ECM, what the computer is telling us. So the biggest misconception, the biggest frustration, I think, from owner-operators and fleet managers is that us as technicians, we're just throwing parts at something to hope it can stick. That is not the case. What we do here, what we strive to do here, is to take care of the customer, ensure that they have a good operating piece of equipment that they can rely on to make money for their business. If you need your truck diagnosed or troubleshot, please give us a call, 253-400-4558.